Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently at peace. And as you can see here, that's not going to last forever, but honestly, this list is very short. And one of those is Judea, which is not going to rebel under any circumstances. Like, it's not physically possible for Judea to rebel. So the next location is going to be Alana, and the question is, that's down over here. Right, we already have these guys moving up there. There's not really anything we can do to prevent it. This is going to happen due to the plague, which is currently located here, of course. And yeah, that's just the unrest here. That's going to be done in April of 1016. So that's 11 months that's going to take before that's gone. It's going to rebel in that time. Let's take a look at Mycia Inferioris. So that is right up over here. I feel like they already recently rebelled. But this is going to be done on 27 August 1017. April of 1017. No issue here. And no issue here. Okay, so this is going to be in like mid-1017, so that's going to be roughly 2 years out. So that's going to rebel in 10 months at the current rate. However, we can definitely slow that down somewhat with this harsh treatment. So that'll push that back to 13 months. That's still probably going to rebel. Let's take a look at South Phoenicia. I'm not going to look at every single one of these right now, but I want to see what's going on with some of these that are like within 2 years. So South Phoenicia is right over here. Okay, so this is probably... We've got a plague epidemic here until 15 April of 1017. 18 September of 1015. So that's going to help matters when that goes away. Okay, noted. So the core issue is this one. That is currently 11 months away, so... I mean, all things considered, not too bad. I do want to have these guys heading up over this way. They can sit like around, that's 1.02% attrition. I'm looking for somewhere that would give them no attrition here. I'm not sure if such a place exists right now. I guess they can sit here. That seems okay. So that is absolutely fine for the moment. We're going to let our forces mostly be regenerating. I want these guys to be, these are mercs here. So we don't need them to be like drilling or anything. This guy is still very angry. Actually, we could bribe him, and he'll no longer be disloyal at that point. Unless this didn't update correctly. I think it didn't update correctly. It was saying he was at 27 before the bribe, but I think it didn't update that the bribe expired. So I think this kept him at 27. So for now, that's fine. I want to come down over this way and have these guys be drilling. We have an army up over here. In fact, we have two. I want these to come over like here and be maybe a little bit more centrally located so they can start moving down this direction, while these guys can be stationed up in this area and drill. These are in movement, and oh, right, because of the conquest of Alexandria. 6 stability is really good. Honestly, I'm going to take the 6 stability. Okay, so that looks fine. This guy's heading over here, and I'm completely content with that for the moment. So we're going to get him drilling as soon as he arrives. There we go. And everything is looking good at this point. So next up, Alana's up to 9 months before it rebels now. That's interesting. This has changed. So it's going down by 0.3 a month. Indeed. So 10 April 1016. Fascinating. So Judea is irrelevant. I kind of want to look at Kadar at this point. And the reason why this went down, by the way, is because our stability went up. So that should not be surprising in the slightest. Also, what's the culture down here? Pretty much all integrated. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's because of the cultural issue. It's not ideal, but we don't have any actual integration here, so that looks wonderful. And now I want to head up to Kedar, which is this up over here. I want to take a quick peek at this. We're looking for locations here with the plague. So this is going to be going away in 21 February of 1017. This is 49 months away. If we switch this to harsh treatment, this is probably just never going to rebel. So that looks great. Next up, we've got Europa. Let's see where that is. So that's this up over here. I feel like this just recently rebelled. It did. So let's switch this over to harsh treatment as well. That's still going to be dropping, but again, I feel like that's probably not actually going to rebel. Yeah, that just completely drops off the list. Achaia is, of course, that's Arcadia. Achaia is this up over here. Let's switch that over to harsh treatment. Completely off the list. And so we've got Alana, which is going to rebel. We've got Mysia Inferioris, which is probably going to rebel. South Phoenicia, which is possibly going to rebel. Judea, which is never going to rebel. And Kedar, which I do not believe at this time is going to rebel. That's 5 years out. The plague is probably going to be gone by then. So that looks great. The plague epidemic here in Jerusalem is actually going away today. As of literally right now, it's gone. So that should be great. We'll make this go away. It'll be fine. Okay, so did it come back is the question. It's not gone. It may update on the month tick. So we'll give it the month tick. There we go. That's a month tick there. And we can see here food is growing. So yeah, the plague is gone in Judea now. So there is a new location in here, and that is Karga. Let's take a look over at Karga. That is this down over here. We're currently on conversion. There's no reason to be on this. So let's move this to harsh treatment, and this should no longer be an issue. So that looks absolutely wonderful. I think we have this pretty under control now. We're mostly just waiting on Alana rebelling and Mysia Inferioris. But neither of those should be particularly threatening for us. So we're 6 and 8 months out. South Phoenicia is almost 2 years out at this point. I want to double check the plague here. South Phoenicia should not rebel. Unless plague spreads elsewhere here, it won't rebel. So we shouldn't have to worry about South Phoenicia. Timing looks good on that. Parva is on this list now. Let's see what we've got going on out over here. So this is Parva, and we can absolutely change this to harsh treatment. That'll buy us time. Beautiful. We need a new governor out over this way. It'll be this guy, although we did have a Scorn family, the Hyrcanids. We'll deal with those as soon as we can. Actually, we could just give a Hyrcanid control of the Navy. It's fine. So that looks absolutely wonderful for right now. This is such a short list. Such a short list. Bithynia Inferioris just appeared. So let's take a look at what we've got going on over here. So this is Bithynia Superioris. This is Bithynia Inferioris. Okay, there's not a lot we can do about this situation other than just wait for time. Like, play for time here, which we already are doing. So we're already on harsh treatment. No issue there. I'm just trying to find out where the plague is. Here it is. Okay, so the plague is here. And that's going to be going away in, like, 9 months. So I don't think there's a problem there. I really, really don't. At this point, the plague is going to be dealt with very shortly. So we're going to start moving up towards Alana. This isn't Alana. Hang on. Stop that. This is Alana down here. We're going to start moving up towards Alana, but I don't really want to get there yet. We're only 1 province away, right? So there we go. They are Daru. Perfect. So we're going to come in over here. That looks wonderful. And we could even hire these mercs. I'm going to do it. We're going to put them on unit reorg. And they're going to ooze their way off over this way. It's going to take them a while to get there, and that's absolutely understood. We don't want them to get here until they get some morale regeneration, right? So that'll be absolutely fine. This siege is progressing nicely, and we will let this morale regeneration happen. That's 23%. Do we think that's enough to win this? The AI sure does. So we're going to head right on in. Beautiful. We're going to start up this siege, and they, of course, can't unit reorg here, but that's fine. I don't care. So next up would be Mysia Inferioris in 5 months, which is, of course, these guys right up over here. Fully expected. I'm not going to move into that just yet, and I don't know if they're going to join this faction or if they're going to make their own. That'll be interesting to find out. So this fort could fall basically any time now. And in fact, it did right there. That is perfect timing, because we can come in here and eliminate these mercs before they regenerate any morale. That's huge. Absolutely enormous. So now we're going to come up over this direction. It's a really, really awkward path. So instead, I'm going to just take over this siege, and we're going to have these mercs head over. I'm actually thinking about not. Because Tunesis is currently capping this, and that seems wonderful. So let's just see if we manage to get this. We've got wow, I cannot speak apparently. Mycia Inferioris in 3 months, so that looks good. No problem whatsoever here at this point. So we're at 28% on this siege. And this seems great. Daru is down over here in Hamdab. I don't care about this. Completely irrelevant. 2 months on Mycia Inferioris. I'd love to have this war wrapped up before they rebel. It's not the end of the world if we don't, but it would definitely be ideal. Hello, pause menu. So let's grab this. I was hoping it would finish there. Sadly, it did not. We do need a new Bal Yeda, and that could be, say, this guy. It doesn't really matter. We'll just take the guy who's most qualified at this point. I'm going to take the mercs and have them come on down over this direction. We don't really need them here. They don't have any siege engineers, so they're not very helpful here. Ah, these guys did rebel at this point. I was hoping that that siege would be done by now, but alas, here we are. This is fine. So next up would be South Phoenicia in 11 months, and in that time, we are fully expecting that this plague is going to go away. That is under a year away, so that looks good. I think our timing is fine on this. So at this point, we're going to need to chase down to here. They're trying to run away from our mercs, hilariously. We're going to catch them here, I think, though, so that looks good. I want to check in up here. How's the siege going? And yeah, we stack wiped their mercs. Wonderful. To be honest, we don't need these mercs anymore. We're just going to get rid of them. They're locked in movement, though. We won the siege up there. That's fine. Mycia Superioris, or rather Inferioris, did end up joining this, so we can't peace out Daru just yet, sadly. We're going to have to get this siege done first. That's understood. So they've got these mercs here. This doesn't really matter all that much. They have no morale. All we need to do is get this siege done, and we can piece them out. So this seems fine. We're at 28%, and it'll happen any moment now. We do, however, need a new governor down in Punt. So let's put in this guy. That'll be fine. So South Phoenicia, Europa, and Kedar. Europa is on harsh treatment. Kedar is on harsh treatment. South Phoenicia is on harsh treatment. Should be fine. I don't think any of those are actually going to rebel. Our allies are fighting over here, and they're going to win that. They just didn't have the morale. Their mercs, they didn't regenerate the morale on before they fought. So that did not go well for them. Did not go well at all. This siege is won. At this point, I'm going to walk out over this way. Not that it matters. We're going to get this all auto-capped, and we'll make peace. So we need a new oratory researcher. That's going to be this guy. Beautiful. And we do still have some starving pops here. That's absolutely understood. And let's get this last auto cap completed. It doesn't actually matter. We don't have to auto cap all this, but there we go. So now we're going to take this. Perfect. Lose half a point of progressive expansion that we don't have anyway. And then come on down over here. And then we'll piece out Daru as well. So no problem here either. Perfect. So at this point, no rebellion, and I don't believe there's going to be rebellion. Let's double check that. So we've got South Phoenicia down here. The only location where they have plague is this one city, correct? I'm double checking that. Correct. This is going to be done on 15 April 1017. So that is about 7 months away. No, not even. It's 24 November. So in terms of month ticks, we've got December, January, February, March, April, and then May. So that is 6 month ticks before this actually falls off. And we've got 7 months here. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So let's take this on forward. We've got this army up here just in case rounding issues cause us problems. I don't really expect that to be the case. And we do need a commander here. Let's put in this guy. There we go. Perfect. And you should get to drilling. Excellent. So we've got these guys out here, and I kind of want them... They're actually not taking attrition where they are. Well, why don't you just go ahead and drill there? That'll be fine. We've got these guys out here. These are mercenaries. I'm going to get rid of them. We don't need to have these mercenaries. These guys can move to, like, here. And once they arrive there, I'll have them drill. There we go. We've got these guys up over here. They can be drilling. We've got these guys. They can drill. We've got these. These are mercs. Let's get rid of them. And then we've got these guys. They can drill here. Excellent. Somebody was murdered. I'm sure it'll be fine. And we need a new Balyeta again. So it'll be this guy. Perfect. So that looks absolutely fine for right now. Now we're going to need to be integrating some of these provinces, right? So let's go into our diplomacy subjects. And we've got all of these. So we're going to need to get Olby improving relations. So we're working on that right now, looks like. Cool. Next up would be Crete. Let's make sure we're improving opinions there. Next up would be Tanesis. We'll improve opinions there. And then Heptonomus, we're already improving on. Then we've got Nasson, which is up over here. We're already improving there. And then Caria Inferioris, we're already improving there. So that looks good. Now we need to get all of these up high enough. We need to get them to 190 so that we can start integration. Although a lot of these, we're not going to be able to start integration for a while. We need to get to 1021. So that's understood. This one, we can start as soon as their opinion comes up. Crete is going to be 1019. Tanesis, 1024. Heptonomus, 1021. Nasson, 1020. And Caria Inferioris, 1021. Look how all of those disappeared. Beautiful. At this point, we have no more problem. If we come down here to South Phoenicia, it's done. Beautiful. No more rebellion. We managed to keep this together much. The only reason any of these are vassals is because we were not able to fully integrate them in one go. So I'm very happy about that. That plague went so well. At least in comparison to the other one, anyway. So that's absolutely wonderful. Let's hop into the macro builder here and build any mines that we can, any farming settlements that we can. There's apparently a lot of these that need to be built, which isn't surprising given that a lot of these places rebelled, right? So let's actually sort by amount we can build, and that'll allow us to just spam up here. I like it. So that's a bunch of farming settlements. Can we build any logging camps? We can build one. Can we build any hunting camps? No. Okay, so that seems absolutely fine. I don't want this guy to get more ambitious. There we go. And then we can build a couple of slave estates. So that's all of our rural structures queued up there. That seems wonderful. We're at max political influence. That's not shocking. That is not shocking in the slightest. This army over here, our leader died, so we need a new one. That is this one. There we go. Can be this guy. That'll be absolutely fine. We'll assign him in and drill. So at this point, we can start working on getting some of these city buildings going again. So, to that end, we've got Ceuta, and that is down over here. Where exactly? Here. Okay, so that looks good. Evangelism in our lands is happening. I'm not a big fan of that, but whatever. So we've got this city here. I want to ditch the fortresses. There's no reason to have them. Otherwise, this produces gemstones, so having this be a production city seems absolutely wonderful. There's a number of those buildings already here. This seems pretty okay, all things considered. So let's do something like that. So this is fine. I don't see an issue here or here. This is okay. We know we're building a farming settlement here. A mine here looks good. This city here is a production city. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. And then we've got Ceuta down over here, which is already quasi set up as a production city. We probably don't need this Great Temple. We definitely don't. Let's get rid of that. And taverns, and this is, of course, going to be forums and a pair of freeman districts. Okay, so that seems absolutely wonderful. Next up, what we need to do, of course, is a bunch more of that. But I want to first go into our country view, and in our administration provinces, I want to go through and make sure that all of these have automatic trading turned on. Now, a lot of them still have harsh treatment, and that's probably no longer necessary, but I'm going to allow the governors to change those over time as they get replaced. It's going to take them a while, but we could build up quite a lot of this. Actually, we don't need to necessarily do that because we do have a lot of political influence. We should probably go through and change all of those. That's going to be pretty tedious, but nevertheless, we could just have it be a default one where we put it on like wealth creation if it's not. Like, having it be, there we go. Having it be on conversion here is, I guess, fine. But I'm going to change these if they're on harsh treatment. And the loyalty is growing enough. You know what? I'm just going to leave this be. I'm going to leave it be. That would be a little too tedious, I think. I just want to make sure that automatic trading is on. So that looks fine for now. Maybe we can come back and do that some other time. So Duriscos is the next location. That is right up over here. Now, this is absolutely fine. We're going to want production here for the salt. So let's get some slave traders and taverns and a pair of forums. Up over here, we produce grapes. That's fine. Iron, this is okay. Leather, whatever. I don't care. Precious metals looks good. Fish, and then we've got this here. I feel like this fort here, I'm going to get rid of it. And this should be production-based. So we're going to get rid of the shipyard, the conscription camp, the port. We probably don't need the Great Temple, but I'm going to leave it there for now. But I will get rid of the 2 shrines. And then we'll build 3 taverns, 3 slave traders. We'll build a forum. We'll build a freeman district. And then from there, we don't technically need these 2 granaries. Let's get rid of those. We're negative on food at this moment, so I want to put in a farmer's market, but then we can max out the rest of this with tax offices, like that. And what's down over here? Okay, that's still part of that same city. Looks good. So the next location that we would be interested in doing is Paihaharat. So where is that? That is down over here. Beautiful. So this location here, we can definitely put this in. We'll make this be production. It produces leather. Seems absolutely wonderful. So we'll get those going. And then we've got this. I mean, this is already kind of a research city. Let's get rid of the taverns. Let's put in a noble district, a citizen district, a court of law. And we don't need this tax office. We'll put in an academy instead. And then we've got this grand theater that we do not need. So I'm going to replace that with a library. Okay, what do we got here? Slave estate, that seems relatively fine. Mine is good here. Mine is good here. Okay, in Harhareb, in this location, we are definitely interested in putting in a mill and a tavern for right now. Okay, otherwise, this state appears to be well set up. So I don't have a problem with that. Next up would be Kudana. So that is going to be down over this direction. So this is absolutely fine. I'm going to get rid of the port. We're going to make this be something along the lines of that. Okay, now we've got a city here. Again, I'm going to make this be production. It produces camels. Whatever. That's good enough. So we're going to do something like that. Excellent. Tortoise shells, huh? Well, I guess it's fine. We're going to take the money here, I guess. Okay, so this has a port. I'm going to have that be a slave estate instead. Here we produce myrrh. Okay, whatever. Get rid of the port, put in a slave estate here. This is a city here that does not need a fortress, and it does not need an earthworks either, for that matter. So let's put in a trio of mills here, and I don't think this aqueduct is strictly speaking necessary, but that critical food supply is still a big problem here. We should probably consider importing something, but we already are. So critical food supply here is absolutely an issue. I'm going to get rid of these, and I'm going to do a farmer's market first, and then we'll put in a pair of mills. That'll help matters. But ultimately, we are going to need quite a bit here. Quite a bit indeed. I'm just wondering right now what the driving force behind that lack of food is. I mean, we don't have much food here. There's no doubt about that. And then this produces dyes, so that's not very helpful for this state. Overall, we're going to need to import here, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and entice business investments. So we'll get this up to 2 of 2, and we'll import a little bit more food. That's not going to solve the problem, but it'll do something anyway. Wow, this is actually still doing this? Okay, that's awkward. Whatever. So for now, it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we've got a lot of things to work through in terms of getting everything reintegrated and rebuilt. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments. I've completely lost my train of thought here. Let me try that again. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. There we go. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.